The concrete club controlled every foundation poured in Manhattan during the 1980s. No skyscraper went up without their signature. Any developer pouring a foundation worth more than $2 million paid a mandatory 2% tax to La Cosa Nostra, no negotiation, no exceptions. The heads of New York's 5 families ran the racket together, a billion-dollar extortion cartel hidden inside the city's glass towers, insulated by union muscle and a wall of legitimate corporate fronts. For years, the system held. Then federal agents wired a Jaguar, and the recordings from that car helped send 2 of the city's top bosses to prison for 100 years each. New York's construction boom began in the late 1970s, cranes filling a skyline hungry for fast cash. The mafia found a way out of street rackets and into the boardroom. They infiltrated the District Council of Cement and Concrete Workers Union, then climbed past the laborers to the cement plants themselves and the supply chains feeding them, achieving total vertical integration over the industry. No independent contractor dared bid against the families. The ones who tried watched their trucks stop running, their concrete hardening in the drums before it reached the site. The 5 families divided Manhattan's concrete contracts like executives carving up a corporation, each family running its slice, while outside competitors kept their distance. The mechanics were simple. The commission picked the winner before the bidding opened, on projects as visible as the Jacob Javits Center and the luxury towers rising on the Upper West Side. The chosen company inflated its costs, won the rigged contract, and paid its 2% straight up the chain. This was a boardroom cartel, run with the discipline of a corporation and protected by the same kind of paperwork. Bosses like Anthony "Fat" Tony Salerno and Paul Castellano collected that cash from behind a wall of lawyers and corporate fronts no investigator could get through. The FBI knew the cartel existed. Reaching the men who gave the orders, rather than the men who carried the cash, called for a different kind of investigation. Every monopoly built that way creates friction, and the friction was about to end up on tape. In 1984, that friction caught up with them. FBI agents planted a hidden microphone inside the dashboard of a Jaguar owned by Anthony "Tony Ducks" Corallo, boss of the Lucchese family. The bosses treated that car like a rolling office, certain no one could reach them inside it. Sitting in the back seat, they worked through the concrete percentages out loud and named the union officials collecting the payoffs. They put dollar figures, millions of them, on tape. The recordings reached past any single construction scam. They proved a governing commission sat above the 5 families, running organized crime in New York the way a board of directors runs a company. Federal prosecutor Rudolph Giuliani built his case from hundreds of hours of tape. Instead of charging the men who handled the cash, he charged the men who gave the orders, using the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act to argue, for the first time in American legal history, that the leadership of the 5 families functioned as a single criminal enterprise rather than 5 separate gangs. The defense called the recordings vague street talk, men boasting in a car. The prosecution answered with paperwork, union ledgers and bank records, lined up against the exact timestamps on the tape. No defense attorney could wave that off as barroom talk. The trial ended in November 1986. The jury convicted the top leadership of the New York mob across the board. Anthony "Fat" Tony Salerno and Anthony "Tony Ducks" Corallo each received a 100-year prison sentence. The concrete club collapsed overnight, and the contracts that once belonged to the commission went back to the open market. The case set a legal precedent. No criminal empire, however deep inside the corporate world, sits beyond the law's reach. Every tower built on that concrete still stands. The empire that taxed it does not. The concrete held the city up. The law took it down. Federal agents got inside a mob boss's car with a microphone in 1984. How many other rooms did they reach that we still don't know about? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe to Sketchy Syndicate, and let us know which criminal empire we take apart next.